Greetings! You've tuned into Global Update, your go-to channel for worldwide news updates. Today, we bring to your screens a fascinating story from the heart of Mexico. We'll be discussing the country's stance on the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict as expressed by none other than President Andrés Manuel López Obrador himself. It's a tale of diplomacy, international relations, and Mexico's firm stand against wars. So, buckle up and prepare to be enlightened. Stay with us as we delve into the details of this intriguing development. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has recently made clear Mexico's standpoint on the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. It seems that in the midst of international turmoil, Mexico is standing firm in its stance against war. The nation, under the leadership of President López Obrador, has chosen a path of neutrality and peace, even in the face of pressing global issues. The Mexican president has boldly voiced his opinion, rejecting the idea of detaining Russian President Vladimir Putin. This came in response to a request from Ukrainian authorities, who are at the center of a geopolitical storm with Russia. But Mexico, López Obrador asserts, is not responsible for playing global police. The nation's role is not to arrest, but to advocate for peace. López Obrador's stance extends beyond just words. He has proposed the creation of a commission composed of key figures with the aim of mediating between Russia and Ukraine. This proactive move reflects Mexico's commitment to peaceful resolutions and dialogue, rather than resorting to force or taking sides in the conflict. The president's approach is rooted in the belief that Mexico, as a sovereign nation, should maintain good relations with all countries. This includes Russia, whose leader Putin has been invited to the inauguration of Mexico City's next president, Claudia Sheinbaum. This invitation, however, has not been without controversy. Critics argue that it sends mixed signals about Mexico's stance on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but López Obrador remains undeterred. He has clarified that Mexico's diplomatic relations do not equate to taking sides in international disputes. Rather, they represent the nation's commitment to open dialogue and peaceful diplomacy, regardless of the complex global landscape. This assertion by the Mexican president has sparked quite a controversy globally. As we delve further into the nuances of this story, one thing remains clear. Mexico's stand against wars is unwavering, a testament to its commitment to peace and neutrality in the face of global conflicts. The controversy took a leap when Putin was invited to the inauguration of Mexico City's next president, Claudia Sheinbaum. This move certainly created ripples across the globe. It's not often you see a world leader under such international scrutiny being welcomed with open arms. But Sheinbaum was quick to clarify Mexico's position. She emphasized that Mexico maintains diplomatic relations with most countries around the world. As a sovereign nation, Mexico has a policy of neutrality and non-interference in the internal affairs of other countries. And this policy extends to Russia as well. It's an approach that's deeply rooted in Mexico's history and its constitution. It's a commitment to peace, dialogue, and diplomacy. And it's a stance that's been reiterated by President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who has consistently advocated for peaceful resolution of conflicts. This move to invite Putin, however, has put Mexico's foreign policy under the international spotlight. Critics argue that it could be seen as a tacit endorsement of Putin's actions, while others argue that it's simply a continuation of Mexico's long-standing policy of non-interference. But what's clear is that Mexico is not shying away from engaging with controversial figures on the world stage. It's a bold strategy, and it's one that's certainly drawn global attention. But it's also a strategy that's in line with Mexico's commitment to peace and dialogue. In essence, Mexico is saying, we may not agree with what you're doing, but we're willing to talk about it. We're willing to engage in dialogue. We're willing to try and find a peaceful solution. And we're not going to let controversy stop us from doing that. The world is watching and the stakes are high, but Mexico is standing firm in its commitment to peace and diplomacy. And in a world where conflict and controversy often seem to dominate the headlines, that's a stance that's worth paying attention to. It's clear that Mexico's stance is to promote peace and maintain good relations with all nations. As we navigate through these turbulent times, it's a lesson we could all stand to learn. This development has significant global implications, and reactions have been pouring in from across the world. Mexico's stance, as articulated by President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has not only garnered attention, but also elicited various responses from different nations. In the global theater, where countries often engage in a delicate dance of diplomacy, Mexico has made its message clear. It stands against wars. While some nations have responded with understanding, recognizing Mexico's sovereign right to maintain its foreign policies, others have voiced concerns. The question that arises is whether Mexico's stance could potentially influence the dynamics of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Considering the complexity of international politics, the ripple effect of Mexico's stance cannot be underestimated. It could possibly prompt other nations to reassess their positions, leading to a shift in global alliances. It might encourage dialogue and mediation as the preferred means to resolve conflicts, as emphasized by López Obrador's proposal to create a commission with key figures to mediate between Russia and Ukraine. On the other hand, it might also deepen the chasms between nations with differing viewpoints on the conflict. The reactions have been varied, with some countries applauding Mexico's commitment to peace and diplomacy, while others criticize it for not taking a more decisive stand against what they perceive as aggression. This controversy has not only put Mexico in the international spotlight, but also highlighted the often complicated nature of global politics. While the world continues to grapple with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Mexico's stance serves as a reminder of the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in fostering peace. As the world watches, Mexico stands firm in its commitment to peace and diplomacy. This wraps up this episode of Global Update. Today, we delved into Mexico's strong stance against war and the controversy surrounding Putin's potential visit. As we navigate through these complex global events, it's crucial to stay informed and engaged. Knowledge is power, and staying updated empowers us to make informed decisions and discussions. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the Global Update channel and leave your likes and comments. We appreciate your feedback and engagement. Stay tuned for more breaking news from around the globe on Global Update.